Okay, back on this one, I guess. Saw 2 was released in 2005, directed by Darren Lynn Bousman, and it starred Tobin Bell and Donnie Wahlberg. And like I said, I'm reviewing one of these movies each month up until the 10th movie comes out in October. So let's go ahead and get this second one out of the way. Starting off with the good, and there's actually a lot that I like about this one as well. First of all, you have Donnie Wahlberg as the main police detective who is tasked with bringing down John Kramer. The police know that John Kramer is the Jigsaw killer now, so they storm his house, and he's the main one in charge of interrogating John Kramer and finding out where this new group of victims are so he can possibly save them. And I really like the way he plays the character. He's a real asshole cop, and he's not a good person, but I still really like the way he plays the character. And I really like his conversations with John Kramer. And speaking of John Kramer, we have Tobin Bell finally getting an actual performance in this series, because he was pretty much playing a dead body in the entirety of the first one, and he only has like one actual line of dialogue at the end of the movie. But he is actually a main character and a main player in this one, and he does an amazing job. I really love Tobin Bell as John Kramer, and I really love the way he plays the character. He brings a humanity and a depth to the character. And before we get further into this, yes, John Kramer is a villain. He's not some misunderstood, tragic anti-hero. He's evil. He does evil things. So, just like Thanos, I don't want to hear the fanboys going, "Oh, he was right the whole time." No, he wasn't. Aside from that rant, yeah, I love Tobin Bell in this movie. He does a really great job. And then I really like the story of this movie. Like I said, the police know that John Kramer is the Jigsaw killer, so they're trying to get information out of him to find this new group of victims who has been locked in this house with a nerve agent coming through the vents, and they have to find the antidotes, which are hidden throughout the house. Obviously, traps ensue, deaths occur, and one thing I will say about this review series, I will not be showing pictures or videos of the traps because they are very brutal, and I don't know what the fuck causes videos to get flagged on this channel, on this site anymore. So yeah, you won't be seeing any of the traps pictured or videoed on in this review series. But I really like the traps in this movie. They're a little less convoluted than future traps, which start in Saw 3, really. You get the needle pit, one of the most cringe-inducing traps in this entire series. I cannot watch the needle pit scene. I have to look away or skip that scene every time. It's just, I hate needles, and it just gets under my skin every time I watch that scene. Then there's the razor box scene, which is honestly infuriating how stupid that lady was to actually reach both hands into that box. Then you have the furnace, which is probably the most simple trap of this entire movie. And yeah, like I said, a lot of great traps. And the opening trap was the Venus flytrap. That was a really cool trap with the contraption that snaps shut on the head if you don't unlock it in time. Really cool trap. Kind of just felt like a rehash of the reverse bear trap from the first one, but it's still really, really good. And then I didn't mind most of the victims in the scenario. The acting was good from all of them, and one of the reasons why Donnie Wahlberg gets involved is because his son is one of the people in the situation. So that's one of the reasons why he's desperate to get a confession out of John Kramer, because he wants to find his son. And obviously the score is really great, and we also get some really cool deaths in this movie. They don't get as convoluted and creative in this movie as they do in future sequels, like I said. But that's about all for the good. On to the bad, and there's a couple things. First, there's a couple scenes that just move along a little too slowly. Some scenes where people are just standing around talking for no reason. And I honestly couldn't care less about those scenes. And then the twist reveal at the end of this movie, it's not bad whatsoever. I just felt like they were trying to rehash the ending of the first movie, and this is something I'm going to mention in almost every Saw review, with all the apprentices that get revealed at the end of each movie. I just feel like it gets a little too convoluted. Who came before who's new, who was first, all that. It's a little too convoluted, and this movie started that trend, so I have to point it out. And that's about all for the bad. On to the final thoughts. I actually really like Saw 2. It's one of the better sequels of this franchise. Saw 2 is a pretty good entry into the Saw franchise. It's got some really cool sequences, and I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. So that was my thoughts on Saw 2. Have you seen this movie? Let me know down in the comments what you thought about it if you have. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.